Welcome to the Wrestle Story. We discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Wednesday after AEW and NXT, except for this past Wednesday. Every Thursday after NXT UK, and every Friday after Smackdown. Hello,
what up,
people? How's it
Long
going?
time no see.
Yep, we were busy this week.
Haven't been on one in ages.
Had some things going on this week and missed out on a couple shows here, so
But
we are back.
We are here today.
Back again.
To talk about, oh, what an excellent Smackdown. Not. Smackdown, just Smackdown, guys.
Smackdown, just Smackdown, guys.
You know, SmackDown has just not been good, and I don't think this was really any better. There were like a couple segments that I really liked and I thought were super funny, but 90% of the show was just like,
hello, Clark, how you doing?
Meh, you know, like it generally is. SmackDown needs to do, I don't know what SmackDown needs to do, but they need to do something.
They need to get over meh.
That is different than what they're doing, because repeating, okay, sitting here repeating Corbin and Roman for 45 weeks in a row, no, that's not going to, like...
WWE needs a new creative team in general. Pretty much.
Agreed?
I would say Raw has been better the last couple weeks than it had been.
I 100% agree with that. Raw has been so much better than SmackDown. And I've liked it so much more than you would think. Like, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
SmackDown just is not good right now. It just really isn't.
No, it hasn't been good for a while. Well, they just keep putting the same things on over and over again.
Hey, Colin. What's up? How's it going? I just don't know.
Are you going to answer his question?
No, I haven't.
Says, have you gone in the huff with me or something? LOL.
No, I just haven't been on Twitter, man. Haven't been on Twitter today. So yeah, I don't know what to say about SmackDown. It hasn't been great.
No.
Not at all. So we start the show off with a moment of bliss, with Carmella. For me personally, I did not love this segment. I don't know. There was just something about it that I just did not love. Like, I don't know if it had to do with the fact that some of them were just like stumbling over their like words and stuff, or what it was, but I just like did not like this segment. I was just like, that was just not good.
I didn't. The Bayley part I thought was pretty good. She's starting to, you know, early on before when they were doing the heel thing with her, I was like, this doesn't work for me.
Okay, hold on.
She seems to be handling the heel aspect a lot better than she had been.
I agree with you on that. Let me rephrase what I'm saying. Carmella was just like the part of this segment that I was just like, no. Like, I don't know if it's because she hasn't been on TV in a while or what the deal is, but this promo was just not it. It was just, it wasn't good.
I don't know that she's good at promos. And
like, generally, I don't think Carmella's too bad, but this segment was just not good. And Alexa and Nikki were just not helping the whole situation. It was just like,
She stumbled over words a couple times.
Like, quite a few times. So.
The Bayley-Carmella match was the best thing of the night. No, it wasn't. There's another segment that when we get to it, I'll talk about it. By the way, hello, John L. Hello, James. How you doing?
What is up, guys? So yeah, we had that, and essentially it was just like Carmella talking about her friendship with Bayley and how it's essentially like over, and they're like, well, what happened? And she's like, Sasha Banks happened. When she came back, Bayley changed, and then Bayley comes out and is like, no, it had nothing to do with Sasha. It just had to do with, I don't know. When we were in NXT, I thought you had something. And now I'm just kind of like, well, never mind. And so we're not friends anymore. And that led Carmella to be like, well, you know what? I don't even want to wait. We're going to do our match right now. And so then we get Bayley versus Carmella, and I actually thought this was a really good match. The two of them have such great chemistry. It's just, they have really good matches together.
How you doing, Justin? Thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
Don't get fired because you're watching us. we don't want you to lose your job because you're watching us.
But Bayley and Carmella, they have such good chemistry.
I hope you're on break.
Like, they just do. So this match was really good. Bayley ends up winning via... She pinned her, but she cheated. She put her feet on the ropes to help.
The whole... I've started to buy into the whole
Bayley... This whole thing just made me go, ugh, like I should, because I'm like, ugh, Bayley.
Okay, but the whole Bayley...
Ugh, Bayley, you suck, you know?
But the whole Bayley thing with her being a heel is starting to grow on me, and I'm starting to believe it more than I had.
I agree. That's what my whole reaction was, ugh, you suck, because you just cheated, and, you know, I kind of wanted to see Carmella win just a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she's doing her job as a heel, which is good. It's a good thing that she's making people go, ugh, stop with your heel behavior, you know?
Yeah.
That's what that was. Naomi then comes out after, and then Mella and Naomi both double team her, and that's the way that goes. So.
Yes. I heard Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt at TLC, which was the first match in their feud. That's not how you do it, having the first match in a feud be a match like that. Yeah, I agree. 100%. But, you know, WWE doesn't always do things.
So while we're here talking about Bayley, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter over the last, 2 days with Britt Baker, and her whole gimmick now is being a role model or whatever, and she's always throwing that into her promos at this point. People are like, dude, come on. Bayley did the whole role model thing first, and then you guys at AEW are doing the role model thing with Britt Baker.
I don't get it. I don't understand the whole... But I thought that the other day when she had her whole... during her deal with Shivane, she was talking about being a role model and stuff, and I was like, what? How you doing, Forgetty?
Do not. Honestly, I don't like that Britt is trying to be the role model and stuff. Just, stick to the whole... I thought you haven't been on Twitter, eh? Stop! I've been on Twitter... Okay, so the other day, because when I'm in the car, I have no internet. So I can't look at Twitter. So I can only look at Twitter when I was sitting in the hotel room, and I was only on Twitter for just a little bit because I was reading a book, okay? So, in my defense, you can vouch for me because this is true.
She was reading a book.
I was reading a book, okay? I told you when I start reading a good book, I don't put it down until I finish it.
Yeah, James, I don't know what's with the satellite interviews. I don't get the whole point of them.
I don't get it either. But anyways, I don't love that Britt is like, oh, I'm the role model. And Bayley's like, I'm the role model. I'm like, guys, come on. AEW, come up with your own thing. Stop it right there, please. Because that is, totally obvious, we copied WWE.
Yeah.
Stop.
Use your data.
Stop with that. So, we then get a Bayley interview. Bayley says the next time she will defend her belt will be at Super Showdown. So, there will be a women's match at the Saudi show in 2 weeks. It'll be Bayley versus who? We don't know yet. We then get a Lacey video. She's going to be doing an interview next week.
I will say this. I think it's probably going to be Mella.
Probably.
Just because I don't know if Saudi Arabia would allow the glow thing to happen.
So...
They might.
But it'll probably
I have a question. Could Bianca Belair take the title on Sunday? I know she's probably not. But the way they've been building her up makes you feel like things like... I agree. I would not be shocked if she did.
Agreed.
And potentially what we could see happen is Rhea come up. Or slide over. Not really come up.
Except...
Slide over to
I'll share thoughts on that in a minute.
Raw.
Just hold on.
Because I don't think we can now call it main roster and NXT because
it's going to be a rematch from tonight in Saudi. I would 100% agree with that. It'll be Mella versus Bayley. I think that's what it's going to be. So we get this Lacey video, and essentially it's talking about, like, from the day of the Royal Rumble or whatever, they put out a video on YouTube from that, and it was Lacey talking about how she takes letters from fans and she puts them in her boots. And, you know, she then, she has an interview next week or whatever, they're doing that. I love her. Lacey Evans, I love Lacey Evans. She is so, like, great. I don't know why they brought her up to begin with as a heel. Because I think if they had just been doing this from the very start, she would have gotten a better reaction than she did when she first came up.
Yes, I agree.
Like, this is so, like...
Still not watching, but Carmella is not winning. It's going to be Sasha who takes the title from Bayley. I agree.
Sorry
I think Sasha will take the title from Bayley.
Agreed. 100% agree with that. But I don't know, man.
Thanks for the follow.
Yes. All right, Colin. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.
Night, Colin.
So I don't know. I think they should have brought Lacey up like this in the beginning. She would have gotten over better. And honestly, like, it's very...
That would be my daughter, yes.
It's very more of like a personal thing, you know, like, and people can relate to it more, which is like where if with the way they brought Lacey up with like the whole she's a bad guy thing, like, I don't know, man. I think she just would have gotten over better if she'd been brought up.
Oh, there's no doubt. I think she would have been more over with the crowd. And so I think that would have
helped her tremendously.
Yes. Do you both like wrestling? Yes.
Yes. Yes, we
Actually,
do.
she is I used to watch wrestling as a kid, and she's the one that talked me into doing this show that we do here.
Yes. Tell me. No. We both like wrestling, and so we decided to do the show.
We aren't dropping frames right now, James, so I would assume that I hope it's you, or it could be, and everything looks good on our end.
So I don't know, man. So we then get Otis backstage.
Yes.
Otis is getting ready for his date.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes! Otis. Go Otis. Go Otis. Go Otis. Woohoo! You know, so excited. So ready for this.
Yeah.
Like, just the hype up to this whole
this
Mandy Otis Valentine's
Mandy
date.
And Otis has been good.
It's been so good.
I'm starting to think about it. What if they don't have plans to do
Sasha and Bayley?
Yeah.
Let's do Naomi and Carmella at WrestleMania. I think it's still gonna be Sasha and Bayley. Okay, I took that back. It might be Bayley and Naomi at WrestleMania if Sasha is not gonna be like, yeah, I want this.
Yeah. Remind me at the end of the show, John. I will talk about her appointment. NXT and AEW live stream. Hey, we missed out, man. We were out of town.
We were out of town.
Sorry, dude.
I told everybody on Monday.
Yeah. We had our bi-monthly trip to the doctor that we had to go to.
For me, yes.
So we were out of town.
So, we then get Sheamus versus Apollo Crews and Shorty G. The point of this was what?
Nobody knows. Where are the other 7? Fan of wrestling. The other 7, the other kids, is that what you're talking about? Actually,
there was no point to this.
I'm assuming he's talking about the rest of our kids, your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, probably.
2 of them, well, one of them passed away. 2 are out of the house. We have 2 that are interested in wrestling.
But
one is really young, so he's not. he's not. I mean, he gets on. We can bring him out here every now and then, but he's not on a lot. How you doing, observing stuff?
Yes. What is up?
And then we have one that's not interested in wrestling at all. One that's semi-interested in wrestling. So over time, you'll probably see at least two of the other kids will be on here every once in a while.
I hear AJ Styles facing Taker. Oh my. Well, I'm gonna share thoughts on that. Just you wait. Just you wait. We have a lot to talk about at the end of the show. Because we just do. Okay? We just do. So just hold on to those thoughts and we're gonna get to them. Believe me.
We'll talk about Maven's doctor's appointment at the end of the show here.
Believe me. So.
Goldberg versus Cena at Mania. You know what? I'm beginning to think it might happen.
I'm beginning to.
And it might be for the title.
I'll share my thoughts.
Because with issues with, there's just no star power. They have, but that's WWE's fault. That's all. They haven't built anybody up.
Goldberg on Smackdown next week. Can't wait.
Yes, and I think he's probably going to be live.
I would assume
actually at the show.
He'd be live. Like.
Who needs to win the NXT takeover, Gargano or Finn Balor? It's a good question. I would say probably.
Gargano. I think Gargano has to win.
I think, well,
he'd be my pick.
It depends on what the plan is for Balor.
I suppose.
If they're going to bring back the Demon Balor at some point in time, I would say he loses.
Yeah.
But I'd almost think that the Balor needs to win.
Gargano. That'd be mine.
I think. I mean.
So, we then get Sheamus versus Apollo Crews.
Yes, The Fiend is going to take out Hulk Hogan next week. I thought he was going to do it this week. I thought
Sheamus,
they were going to have him show up at the...
I have ideas for that. Hold on 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sheamus, Apollo Crews, Shorty G. This whole match was stupid. I don't know what the point of this was. It was just kind of like, what? Who cares? Sheamus won. Nobody cares. Okay.
Because we've never
Nobody
seen
cares.
Well, again, it's one of those that, like, basically it's the same type of thing we've seen.
We then have Carmella backstage. She says she deserves a rematch with Bayley. We then get a Goldberg video. This is essentially just like looking at his like career and then at what happened last week where he was like, Fiend, you're next! You know, that whole situation.
Vince needs to leave WWE to stay with the next XFL. I agree. I think he needs to go do something else. I just noticed I think I had the same Turtle Beach headset as Glean. Hey, awesome. We got several of these. I think we got like 4 of these.
I think so. We have a green one, a blue one, a red one, and a white one.
Oh, we got 5 of them.
A white one? Don't we have a white one? I thought we had a white one.
I think it died.
Oh, maybe we don't have a white one. Maybe we have another blue one. I don't know.
So yeah.
Who knows? So this Goldberg thing, you were sitting there, you were like, is he gonna like come back for a bit, like have another run full time, like, cause this video was just kind of like recapping his entire like career, and like dating back to like stuff from WCW, like honestly, I don't want to see Goldberg come back full time. I think what's really ruined him is in the last several years, there are still a lot of people that are like, woo, Goldberg, love him. But there are also a great many people that are like, I could care less because he's going to make a fool of himself again. Because the last several times he has had matches, he has looked bad. Bad. He's knocked himself out. They just haven't been good. Whatever the deal may be, people have just been like, I don't want to see Goldberg come back. And that's what I think has really ruined him over the last couple years. And then also the 2017 thing, I think it was 2017, when he beat Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship, that just made me mad. Because I was like, dude, Kevin Owens is like one of the rising stars. Why would you have Goldberg beat him? Like, it just, I don't know. Personally, I don't want to see Goldberg come back for another run. I don't want to see him with the title. I have a very strong feeling he will beat The Fiend at the Saudi show, which is gonna suck. And then it'll be him versus Roman, or him versus John Cena, or whatever the case may be at WrestleMania. And I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. Like, I just don't care about Goldberg anymore.
Cesaro and Sheamus should be together, just not facing Gable and Cruz.
I just don't care.
I think he's gonna beat The Fiend.
I have a really strong feeling he's beating Fiend.
They're burying Cedric. He just needs to ask for his release. I think he pretty much came out and said, "I'm like looking to leave."
Too bad no one is gonna watch Super Showdown live.
Yeah, it's
like, I don't know, man. I just Goldberg is. Just...
Did you hear it could be AJ Styles versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Yes, I've seen that rumor. I hope not. I think you're gonna see a lot of people. Elijah answered, talking about Cedric Alexander and EC3. I think you're gonna see there's gonna be a lot of former WWE stars, I think, in AEW very, very soon.
He might beat Bray, but he definitely won't beat The Fiend.
How is Smackdown?
See?
There was some good stuff, a little fettuccine, but there was, for the most part, it was not good.
Yeah. That's the way it's been the last several weeks. Not very good.
No.
Honestly, he's fighting The Fiend at the Saudi show. I think Goldberg might beat him. I really do. It's gonna suck, and it's just like, why? And again, I ask why. But I don't know. Goldberg is just not my cup of tea.
We'll be talking about Otis here in just a minute, so a little fettuccine.
Just not my cup of tea.
We'll tell you what happened here in just a few minutes.
How do you feel about the Bellas going into the Hall of Fame? John L., hold on to that.
Keep that thought in mind, John L., because we'll talk about that too.
Yes. We then get Hulk Hogan. He's essentially talking about, the NWO going into the NWO going into the Hall of Fame this year. And then he gets asked a question about Goldberg because Goldberg was, an enemy of the NWO or whatever the case may be, whatever they said. And he's like, yeah, Goldberg, I think Goldberg needs to, I think he's got a good shot at beating The Fiend. And then we get this.
I will tell you why Hogan is on TV, because he gets a pop.
We then get a black and white graphic of the following has been paid for by the Firefly Funhouse.
It was cool.
It was so cool.
I thought it was pretty cool.
And then Bray comes in and he's like, new. And it was like, he did the whole thing, and it was so cool, and it was in black and white, and it was like awesome. He did the guitar thing with the belt.
Yeah, he did the whole NWO thing.
And it was so cool. This was cool. I did like this, and he's like, oh, Hulk, I've been saying my prayers, and I've been eating my vitamins, and look, I got this. I got the title.
Yeah.
Look what I did. And then, essentially, he was like, who you trying to fool here, Hulk? Who you trying to fool? Goldberg isn't gonna... Goldberg, but I have The Fiend.
I have a feeling we're going to see Goldberg versus Cena at Mania.
I have The Fiend, and Goldberg stands no chance, and Hulk is like, I'm out of here, brother. I'll see you all at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know what they need to do? Do you know what they need to do? NWO is giving their Hall of Fame speech. Do nothing with Hogan and The Fiend until then. In just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it is, 4 weeks, whatever WrestleMania is. It's a while. It's a while from now. Whatever. We saw 2 pay-per-views. Whatever the Hall of Fame is. You don't do anything with Hogan and The Fiend until then. NWO is giving their Hall of Fame speech, and then it goes dark. It goes black. We have The Fiend stuff, and then Hogan ends up getting attacked, and that cuts their Hall of Fame speech short.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Because then it transitions over into the Hall of Fame ceremony is different, and that has never happened before at one of them, and it's supposed to be oh yeah, we honor the legends or whatever. Yeah. It would be so cool to see that, it just transitions, Bray doesn't care. The Fiend doesn't care. whether it's, you know, oh, this is for the legends and it's a moment for them or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think would be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they did it that way. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what they do. Cena versus Fiend and Goldberg versus Roman. Yeah, I mean that'd be good. I think you get a bigger pop if you do Cena versus Goldberg. I would like to see Cena do a version of the Firefly Funhouse. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
But see, the issue I have with Cena versus Goldberg is I don't. Yeah, Cena could get a 17th title or whatever, but like, it's not even like he's gonna stick around for that long. So I just don't see the point of doing.
I think they'll keep the story, and maybe to try and get people to watch it, they pull the story in.
See, that's what I'm saying, because it's never been done before. It's like the real life stuff of like, oh yeah, these are the legends and they're going to the Hall of Fame and they're sharing stories.
What about Killer Clowns versus John Cena?
Like.
Or Killer Cross.
That's what I think would be really interesting is if they pulled it in and made it like more real, because the Hall of Fame ceremony is supposed to be real,
Yeah.
They're celebrating the legends and their long career they've had.
Okay, but here's the thing. The legends draw the pop, okay? And this is why I think they're bringing these guys back. Because the pop is coming from them. And part of that is because Vince has not let some of these people become superstars. And I think that's one of the things that's killing WWE right now. And you get the stale, boring stuff. And so I think the reason you're going to see Goldberg win the title and then go on to face Cena at Mania is because I think it brings in more people. More people would come watch that than watch some of the stuff that's going on now. Just because of the star power.
I don't know. I just don't like the idea of relying on the legends for everything. Okay, because there's going to be a point in time where, I'm sorry, all the legends will be dead. Okay? So, like, you can't keep, like, relying on them to be the, like, stars of your company and keep bringing them back for stupid stuff here and there every other week. It's like, to me, it's almost like bringing in, the jobbers. And you have the jobbers fighting this dude. And you're like, dude, you have talent on your roster you could be using, but you're not. You're using jobbers, okay? You have talent on your roster you could be using to build up stories, but you're using legends, And I just don't love it. Like, throwing in a legend storyline here and there, I'm cool with, but, like...
There always be legends after them. Yeah, I agree. Oh my, Glenn, if Jeff Cobb debuts at AEW, oh my. Mox vs. Cobb next week, baby. AEW, I think, is about to pick up. The next 2 or 3 months, watch and see what happens with AEW. With the wrestlers they're bringing in. Because I think it's going to start getting interesting. Between now and probably June or July, somewhere in there, I think you're going to see a lot of major changes happening.
I just don't like relying on the legends because I feel like they have a huge roster of people they could be building up to be stars, but they keep going back to the legends. And like I said, I'm cool with them bringing legends back every once in a while, like to do a storyline here and there, but if you're doing it every other week, A, it's not special anymore. B, it's like, okay, then just add them back to the roster. Like, I don't know. See, like, with Edge...
AEW, I hear, is bringing back more big... I'm assuming more big stars is what you're saying there. I think so. I think it's. I agree. They do neglect a lot of their talents, and I think that's one of the issues. I think you're going to see a lot of what they have is going to leave and go elsewhere. And I think right now AEW talked about everybody's complained about AEW, but I think the one thing they've done, they've waited this out. I think they probably had a pretty good idea about who was going to be leaving WWE. Who they could pull in that had some star power, and I think you're going to start to see it slowly happen. The one thing I hope they do is I hope they bring them in the right way. Don't just go, announce it like 2 weeks before and then have them come in. I want to see like a surprise, like, okay, the Revival shows up and takes out the Young Bucks. Without anybody knowing that it's going to happen. If they put the WWE pay-per-views on Amazon, you would be paying more, right? I would assume so, unless they make it part of like Amazon Prime or something like that. But I would assume that you would have to pay more. Um, I will tell you this: I'm not paying $50 for a pay-per-view. So if they think that they're going to get us for $50, then it's not going to happen. And I would say the WWE Network, if they move them over, it'll be dead.
Which to me is like, what's the point? Why do you
Going
still
back to the Hall of Fame
network?
thing with the Bellas, I'm okay with the Bellas going in, but I do think that there's some other people that need to go in before them. That's my opinion. We'll get back to that. Let's get to the show here. And then
I
we'll
was
talk
going to
about
say,
it.
I have a lot to say.
So
you don't want to get me started
finish
right
up the
now.
show here.
We then get Sami and Cesaro. This segment was gold. This segment was so funny. I loved this segment. So they come out and they're like, we're here to protest. Okay? We're here to protest and we're going to sing our song. So Sami and Cesaro get ready. Sami has a ukulele and Cesaro has a cowbell. And they get ready to sing and Elias comes out. And then Sami is like, bro, for real? Are you kidding me? And Elias is like, well, I'm just here to, like, protest your protest. So, I mean, as long as you're okay with that, like, I mean, and Sami's like, yes, it's fine. I'm a man who is okay with freedom of speech. So, yes, it's fine. Go ahead. Let him in, boys. Let him in. Let him in. Sami then goes to sing his song again. And Cesaro is just on the side, like, jamming out with the cowbell. He's like, he's like, you know, just jamming. And Sami's like, whoa, wait a minute. And then they start playing again, and Cesaro does it again, and he's like, Cesaro, less cowbell.
I thought the less cowbell.
And then awesome. You got chants from the crowd. They were like, more cowbell.
Yeah.
And so then Cesaro got ready to, like, play. And he just throws the cowbell to the side. And then they end up attacking Elias, but Braun comes out to help him. And then this security guy just, like, dies. Like, he gets thrown in the air and he's dead. He's dead now, guys. Right before this happened,
they threw him 78 miles, I think.
I said, oh, watch, that'll be the next huge star in WWE in the next, 5-6 years. That guy they just threw, 60 feet in the air that just, died. He will be the next star of WWE. Boy, that guy, like, flew, though. I was like, whoa. That guy just, like, flew. Totally was not expecting that, but hey, cool. We then get, John Cena will be on Smackdown in 2 weeks. Super excited for that. Goldberg will be live next week. Woo! We then get Naomi and Carmella announced for next week, and the winner will fight Bayley at Super Showdown. I'm going to assume Carmella wins that. That's what I'm going to assume. We then get Mandy and Otis, the date.
Maybe that guy flew super high. If the landing wasn't hard, I would say that.
So we get Mandy and
Otis. It wasn't for the guys that were at the end of that.
No.
Because they're...
So we then get Mandy and Otis on their date.
Did y'all hear Vince is stepping away from WWE to focus on XFL? I have not heard that.
Otis comes in and is like...
I don't, based off of what they did, I'll talk about that in a minute. So,
This is Otis, literally Otis. He's got his flyers in his hand. And he gets ready to walk in, and we go to Mandy sitting at this table. And, we get this, hand on her shoulder. She's like, Otis! And then we turn and look, and it's Dolph Ziggler! Otis then walks in, sees them, and he just stands there. And then he drops the flowers, and he leaves.
Mandy is officially a heel.
I don't know if it's necessarily Mandy or if it's more so Dolph just being like...
The thing is, when they were sitting there, if you look at her face looked like...
This is a bad idea.
And here's what I think is probably going to happen. She's going to go, well, Otis, I was sitting there waiting forever, and you didn't show up. And, Dolph showed up. I didn't really want to sit there with him, but, I was there by myself. But she didn't look happy there when they were showing that segment. But I have a feeling that Otis is going to go,
He's going to go postal on Dolph.
Well, I think
and
he's going to postal on Dolph, but I think
Tucker's also going to go postal on Dolph if you looked at Twitter. He was like, nobody messes with Otis, man.
I think that, I think that they're going to look at this like, or Otis is going to look at it like Mandy had something to do with this too. So I think that she'll have to do some healing and things like that with this whole thing.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. We then get Miz and Morrison versus Roman and his mystery partner, which ends up being Daniel Bryan. I called this from the start. I said it was going to be Daniel Bryan.
And yes, I agree. I think Nakamura probably was watching
Either way,
wrestling.
We all know Dolph is getting beat up.
Yes, I agree.
Ooh,
so we're getting a Dolph-Otis feud. Yeah, which I'm cool with.
I like Dolph and Otis. It should be fun.
I like the whole setup to it.
I think Tucker will get thrown in there too.
I think somehow he's going to.
And Tucker's going to be like, no, you do not. No. You just... Dolph, you've gone messed up, man. Because now you've got us to deal with. We're going to beat you up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Nakamura tried, so he stayed home instead and watched New Japan, and I was like, I should have left. Yeah. I like the main event besides Baron Corbin. I just don't understand why they keep doing the Baron Roman thing.
I'm just over it. It makes me want to not watch SmackDown.
But this is part of why SmackDown has issues right now. Is when you have the main event
every freaking week. Every freaking week. It always goes back to Roman and Corbin. This is a stupid feud. It was a stupid feud from the beginning. It's always going to be a stupid feud. Nobody is going to go back in history and go, I want to watch Corbin versus Roman again. No one in history is going to go back and watch this, okay? Because it sucks. Because it's terrible. Because why? Well, because Corbin, okay? This is just bad at this point. It makes me very angry, and it makes me just like want to not watch SmackDown.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know little baby's is sleeping?
It just makes me want to not watch SmackDown because
I don't think
every week it goes back to this.
I don't think they're going to turn Otis against Tucker.
No.
I think probably what they're going to do is pull Otis and Tucker into a feud with Rude and Ziggler.
Oh boy. That'll be fun.
I don't have a problem with it.
I just don't like Rude and Ziggler.
New. It's a different
I get that, but I just don't like Rude and Ziggler together because then it makes me think of Baron Corbin, and then I'm like, no.
I don't have an issue with it.
I just dislike Corbin. I do dislike Corbin. That's not a lie. I just dislike Rude and Ziggler currently because they've been teamed up with Corbin as of late. It makes me just go like, like I don't want to watch them, you know. So Miz Morrison and Roman and Daniel Bryan. Corbin is in the crowd. He has a ticket, so he's supposed to be there, whatever, because he's not allowed to fight tonight because he had poured the drink on the dude's head last week. Roman and Bryan win, and then Corbin attacks him after, and it's just kind of like, ugh, you just ruined the show, okay? You just ruined the show by doing that. And it's just kind of like, why?
Ziggler's trying his best to be the Generation Shawn Michaels. I think if they would let him go and let him do his thing, I think he could be a star.
Dolph Ziggler's good. He's had good stuff before, man.
James, that was pretty awesome what they did on Raw with Becky. The match was good, not the feud.
Just, I don't know, man.
I agree. I hate the feud thing with Roman and...
I'm just over it. Over it.
Yeah. The whole Corbin-Roman feud is just like getting old and stale and people don't like it.
The Miz versus Daniel Bryan would be good.
I don't know why they keep throwing it out there.
The Miz versus John Morrison at WrestleMania would be good. That's what I think we're going to lead to. I hope. I hope. Otherwise, don't put Miz on Mania.
Shayna comes out to the Brood theme at Mania. Do it, WWE. That'd be awesome.
No. I don't
That would be awesome.
I just...
And they just released a Christian, or it's going to be released, a Christian in the his Brood white shirt outfit.
Yeah, the new
action figure.
Mhm. It's pretty cool. So that's all of SmackDown. You know, SmackDown is like whatever.
Humberto's Spine Buster was good.
So, Reigns' feud should have been over after one of the Usos jumped over the railing without looking.
I agree.
100% agree with that. It probably should have been over long before
Power
that.
rankings for the week.
We'll do those in just a minute.
I will say this. I did not see AEW or all of AEW or all of NXT, so I can't say.
I didn't either. I only watched some high
parts
point
of it
clips
just because of.
We were out of town.
Yeah, we were traveling and.
Yeah. So, couple high points from NXT. Gargano versus Grimes in a match. We did see that. I actually thought that was a really good match. Gargano won. I like that match a lot. I don't like Cameron Grimes at all, but I thought the match was really good.
Yeah.
We then had Rush and
I like
Garza.
Grimes just because I think of his character.
We had Rush and Garza, and the winner gets to fight for the Cruiserweight title. Rush won. So he gets to fight.
We're to fit good with Shayna and Jax and Liv Morgan.
He gets to fight Jordan Devlin next week for the Cruiserweight Championship. Do you see that changing hands? Do you see Lio Rush winning it back?
No.
I honestly think it'd be kind of stupid to have him win it back.
I don't think he wins it back.
Because I feel like Jordan Devlin hasn't even had the Cruiserweight title that long, so I'd be like, well, what was the point of putting it on, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. So we then get Adam Cole versus Kushida. Cole won. I didn't see this match.
Has Kushida won a match since he's been in NXT?
I think he's won a couple matches, but he hasn't won in a long time. But like I said, I didn't see this match, like the entire thing. I only saw a couple clips.
Kushida's got to be going, why did I come here?
It's probably...
What was the point of me coming here?
You know, honestly, at this point, he might as well just go hang out with Nakamura and watch New Japan or whatever and be like, why did we do this?
Well, that's
why did we do this?
I mean,
remind me why I did this. What is that? There is no reason.
Is becoming Hideo Itami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's.
And where did Hideo Itami end up? Leaving. That's where he ended up. So a couple highlights from AEW. Paige and Omega retained their titles against SCU.
Here's what I'll say about AEW, okay? AEW gives you a variety of things to watch.
Yep.
They give you the joking matches with like Orange Cassidy. They give you the tag team type stuff, like the lucha stuff with the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks and things like that. And then they give you kind of the serious stuff, you know, with like what they're doing with Cody right now. So they give you a
that didn't sound good.
Variety. I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
They give you a wide variety of things to watch, where WWE does not.
Yeah.
So I would say in that aspect, AEW is doing a good job. And then if they start to pull in some of these big superstars from some of these other organizations, and they pull some of these stars from WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think Luke Harper's going to be there soon.
Yeah.
And then if they pull some of these others that are going to be leaving, I think that they're going to really take off.
So, couple high points AEW. Paige and Omega retain their titles.
Like New Japan Wrestling booked them better than WWE. Yes.
Against SCU. Apparently they're setting up Jake Hager and Dustin.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
So this will be like Jake Hager's first match. We have a new AEW Women's Champion. Nyla Rose beat Riho. The only issue I have with this is the fact that Riho beat Nyla Rose like 4 times, and then Nyla wins. It doesn't just make a whole lot of sense to me. So I don't know about that. I think they're setting up Britt to take the title off of Nyla, is what I would say. But I don't know. It just, the continuity aspect of it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Riho to beat Nyla 9 times and then have Nyla win.
That makes sense. I don't have any issue with it.
But it doesn't make sense
The only
because
issue is, like I told you.
Riho is, like, so freaking
That's
tiny.
what just kind of happened.
Like, Riho's so tiny, and she beat Nyla, like, 4 times. And then Nyla beats her this one time. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay. You should have had Nyla beating the crap out of Riho to begin with because of Riho's size. That's the only problem I have with this. Yeah, this all goes back to Riho and being so tiny. And, like, it doesn't work with everybody else. You can't have her be the champion and beat everybody. Yeah. It just doesn't make any logical sense.
The Rock voice.
We then, Jeff Cobb. He showed up, and he's fighting Moxley next week. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't have a freaking clue who Jeff Cobb is.
Like, either he's listening to the fans, but WWE doesn't.
He is from...
Well, the thing is, I don't think you can give in to the fans, but I think you need to make storylines that are interesting and creative, and... Because I think you can make storylines that are interesting and creative without having to listen to the fans.
Yeah.
And make people, you know, be on the edge of their seat and think about, what's going to happen and why and all this stuff. No, they should not have the title, just my opinion. The only reason I don't think, there's reasons I don't think she should have the title. They should have someone else. I think eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have Britt Baker taking it.
Yeah.
Now that she seems to be kind of coming into her own at least on the mic skills.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to see a couple of her more matches before I sit there and say, okay, she's got it in ring. But on the mic skills, I think she's starting to get it and starting to do a lot better. Simone Johnson versus Charlotte Flair at Mania 37 with Ric Flair and The Rock on commentary. Ric Flair might be dead by then. Thoughts on WWE should put Molly Holly Jazz.
Jeez, man!
Kelly, a.k.a. Barbie Blank, should go in the Hall of Fame before the no talent Bellas. I would 100% agree. There are several that I would put in way before the Bellas. But I know why they're going to put the Bellas in is because I think it brought a lot of exposure to WWE because of they went more mainstream than like the others. That's my guess as to why they're going to go in.
Also, okay, while we're talking about that, I don't understand when people sit here and say they have no talent. They are not good in the ring. They are not good on the mic. They don't have any star power. The only reason they've gotten anything in their careers is because of who they dated or who they were married to. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Honestly, just like many other people, the Bellas were way ahead of their time. When they came into WWE, I mean, obviously, they'd been in WWE forever, but when they started getting focused on, when they were, like, in the prime of their careers, they were still at the point where they were having 2-minute matches when they could have been out there for way longer. Like, and that sucks. But then you had the whole Divas Revolution and everything. They were a huge part of getting the women's division changed. Huge part of getting the women's division changed. Nikki, Brie, AJ, and Paige. Those would be the 4 that, off the top of my head, were like what started that whole thing. Like, I don't understand when people are like, they have no talent. They only got anywhere in their careers because, Nikki was dating John Cena and Brie was married to Bryan. Like, that is so not true. Because Nikki had so much star power. And if Nikki had not gotten injured, she would still be at the top of her career right now. And, like, that injury is what messed her up. Because she had everything. She had the look. She had the ability, to talk on the mic. She had the star power. And that's why she was as big of a deal as she was. Now, Brie, on the other hand, this is why Brie, I don't think will ever come back for a singles career ever. because she just didn't have the star power that Nikki did. Together they were good, but Nikki on her own was great. Brie, she can't hold her own in a singles career. I don't think, because I just don't think she has the star power that Nikki did.
No, I agree.
And which is why I don't think she will ever come back to WWE for a singles run ever.
Two-hand claps. Triple H brought back the word woman in NXT. Okay, I like it. Nikki and Brie botches every move. Look what she did to Liv.
Now, Brie broke Liv's nose or something like that. She like messed her face up in a match because she hit her with a knee or whatever. That happens. It has nothing to do with them botching anything. It just has to do with it happens.
Well, there's accidents that happen.
It's part of the job.
I mean, no matter what you do.
It's not like
things that happen.
It ended Liv's career.
Especially well, even if it did, I mean, it's when you wrestle.
It's like everybody going back to the whole Paige and Sasha thing, like, oh, Sasha ended Paige's career. She should never wrestle again. She botches everything. It was an accident.
Oh, no, mode.
Wrong place, wrong time. And Paige is the one who was like, oh, I can get back in the ring. I'll be fine. She knew the risk of getting back in the ring with her neck injury. Yeah. She knew the risk. Everybody knows the risk when they get into the ring.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
Remember getting that catchy, annoying Bella's Twins song at the Hall of Fame.
Wow. Everybody hating on the Bellas. I just don't get it. I thoroughly enjoyed them.
Well, yeah, but you were a big Bella fan.
That is true.
So, I mean,
I had their socks. I have their hats.
Wasn't that right around the time you started watching wrestling?
It was.
See? So.
But the thing was, it wasn't even like there would be no women's revolution without them. They were a major part in that. It was Team Bella versus Team Bad versus Team PCB. That's when they brought Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha up.
Yeah.
It was like those 9 women that helped shape the women's division getting turned into the women's division, being changed from divas to the women's division.
Yeah.
They were a huge part of it. And like for anybody that is like, oh, they did nothing, I thoroughly disagree. And I will always disagree. Because they did so much for the women's division. And you can't tell me otherwise.
Nikki Bella is finally going to be a mom.
Yes, she is. It's pretty cool. So.
I'm coming back 2 seconds. 1, 2. Are you back?
I don't know, man. Anything else? Was there anything else I wanted to... Oh, AJ and Undertaker. No.
I don't want to see it.
No.
Not because I just think there's other... Like, AJ and Undertaker just don't seem to be like a good matchup.
No! And personally, I don't sit here going, you know what I want to see? I want to see The Undertaker versus AJ Styles. I have never said that once. Except for when it just came out of my mouth a second ago.
Maybe they should put the Iconics in the Hall of Fame for the Bellas. That's funny.
Hey, James.
Because they're iconic.
Haha. So funny.
Sorry, man.
The other one that was rumored to go in the Hall of Fame is Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yes, Iconics are getting repackaged. It'd be interesting. Jushin Thunder Liger, why is he getting put into the WWE Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Can anybody explain it to me? You know?
He was in WCW for 2 minutes.
I do not understand why.
And like he was never in WWE.
Well, I get he's a superstar, and if we're just gonna make this a wrestling Hall of Fame and things like that, then I'm okay with him coming in. But they keep talking about it being the WWE Hall of Fame, and at what point in time was Jushin Thunder Liger in the WWE?
He wasn't. He was in WCW.
So how
Which was absorbed by WWE, but it still doesn't make any sense to me. It'll be fine if he goes in. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna have like a problem with it, but it just doesn't make sense.
Well, I'd have to go back and watch because I don't even think that like.
I don't even think he was in like WCW that long.
Yeah, well, and I don't think he was around when it got absorbed. You know, when the whole WCW got taken. You know, WWE like sucked up WCW. I don't think that he was around then. So why is he going into the WWE Hall of Fame, or potentially going into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Just
He was
doesn't
in
make
NXT.
sense.
He faced Tyler Breeze.
That is true. He was in NXT for 2 seconds and fought Tyler Breeze, and then he disappeared.
What'd they do? Bring him in for
one match?
Like,
yeah. That is.
What was he? 65 when he did that?
That is true. He was in NXT for a minute, and then he left.
Oh, well, good. You came in and wrestled one match at NXT, and now you are in the Hall of Fame.
That means you go into the WWE
Cyndi
Hall of
Lauper
Fame.
helped make the whole rock and wrestling thing, and helped make wrestling mainstream, and she's not even in the Hall of Fame. How do you feel about Matt Hardy being on this Monday Night Raw? Do not like it. Why? I thought he was already written off.
Yeah, that's the issue I have with it. Is I thought they were already he was supposed. Okay, so
no,
from
James,
what I
they
read,
should not go on the celebrity part either because, like I said, Cyndi Lauper should be in there before them.
Oh my gosh, I'm totally fine with the Bellas being in the Hall of Fame. Oh my gosh, I don't understand why other people are not. I just don't get it.
I think it's just the fact that there's other people.
I understand there's other people that should be put in before them, but if they're relevant right now and it will maybe get people to watch the Hall of Fame, then
So we're gonna pick the people that are relevant.
I don't know. They're supposed to be in Hollywood next year. And so, I don't know, there's certain people you look at and go, oh, well, that makes sense for them to go in that year, you know? I don't know.
Okay, I get Jushin Thunder Liger is a Hall of Famer, but why Vader not in? I agree, I don't understand.
Vader not being in doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand.
I thought he was in the WWE
why
Hall of Fame.
Or how they pick and choose who's going to be in and who isn't. I just think that if it was just a wrestling Hall of Fame, some of it would be okay. But I just don't know that, when you start putting these people in, you really need to take a look at why they're going in and really do they belong.
Relevant where? Please explain. The Bellas are 100% relevant right now. They have 2 reality shows that they're on that are highly successful that people are still watching to this day. And they're I don't know, they have a clothing apparel line. They have a makeup line or a bath and body line or something like that that's super new. And they have a wine company. I think that makes them pretty relevant currently. So I don't know.
Yeah. Owen Hart, I think his family doesn't want him in. Because I don't think they want him associated with WWE. The Benoit thing I totally get as to why he's not in.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did see, and I don't know if anybody else saw this, his son wants to go into wrestling, and he wants to wrestle under the name Chris Benoit.
See, the thing about, people not going into the Hall of Fame, honestly, I will never say never for anybody, because everybody was like, oh, Chyna's never going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Chyna has more charisma than the Bellas. Ouch.
Chyna will never go into the Hall of Fame, and then Chyna went into the Hall of Fame last year with DX. So, I don't know.
Benoit, I don't think he's ever getting in the Hall of Fame.
That one I can probably agree with. That he will never go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Bellas both having babies, yes. I just think that the Benoit will never go in simply because of
what happened with him. Yeah.
And, the fact that his other son, wants to wrestle under his name, I think I don't know how people will react to that. So, does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
Oh, we gotta ask about Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy. I like what they did last week. I would have just left it at that. So apparently last week he was offered the new contract. He turned it down. He said no. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not signing again. So last week was supposed to be the write-off, but then they ended up saying, oh, well, it was received pretty well, so we're going to put him back on TV this week and have him fight Randy in a no-holds-barred match to write him off again. which to me makes no sense.
No.
LOL, I love the Bellas. Hate them or love them. They are cool people. See, that's what I don't get. It's just like, how can you not like them, though? They're just like, I don't know, they're very entertaining. They're very funny. I just don't get it.
Nikki told me I could lick, but I can't touch.
Ha ha ha! Jokes. I love jokes.
Yeah, that's funny.
There was a joke on the show tonight, and I was like, yeah, that's my kind of, I think it was Bray. He did a joke, and I was like,
Scott.
Man.
I love the Otis Mandy doll stuff. Yes, it was. I thought it was good.
Yes.
The whole Otis Mandy doll stuff was pretty good.
Very entertaining.
Yes.
Highly entertaining. I hate Dolph now, but highly entertaining. Lots of people hate Dolph now. This makes Dolph a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to get booed. Big time.
People hate the Bellas because of Cena and Bryan. Yeah, I can see that.
Which, okay. But the thing I got to say that is like, dudes, the things that happened in their career was not because of Cena and was not because of Bryan.
I can do
They were both good, and they had nothing to do with where they got in their careers. It had nothing to do with the two of them.
Elijah, if we could just do the Orange Cassidy match, with just like doing his comedy routine, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. They should not hold David Benoit as accountable for what Chris did. I agree. The only issue I think that people will have with it is him wanting to use his dad's name.
Yeah.
Because he actually wants to wrestle under the name Chris Benoit. I wish I could see a Bruce Pritchard and Vince backstage and Vince loud. Yeah. So I was going to talk about, Vince leaving for the XFL. I hope that, from what I saw the first week of the XFL, I thought it was pretty good. I like some of the stuff they're doing. I don't want to see Vince mess up the XFL. I'm hoping that if he's going to leave and go focus on the XFL, that he lets the football guys, the guys that have a clue, stay in charge of that. And I think it has a shot at being successful. Will they put the WWE pay-per-views on Fightful TV?
I don't know.
I don't know because I think Vince will do whatever it takes to get the most money. From what I've heard, I don't know if this is what's going to happen, but NBC is starting their Peacock streaming, kind of like if anybody has Pluto TV, it's going to be kind of like that. But they're going to have a pay side to it, and the rumor is that they've been talking to NBC about possibly putting the pay-per-views on the Peacock streaming service. Dolph gave Otis a zigzag at the dinner table. Yes. He put his hand in his pocket, but he doesn't come out with a big show KO punch. Yeah. How you feel about both Raw with MVP and Drew McIntyre? I didn't understand the whole segment.
It didn't make a lot of sense. I think it was just a lot of filler, and it was more so just to keep Drew out there and keep him relevant and have him be like, I don't need anybody in my corner. Brock Lesnar does, but I do not. So that's what I think that segment was about. But I feel like it was quite long and very drawn out and
Yeah.
It didn't need to be as long as it was.
I have the NBC app. James, I think they're starting it's actually going to be called Peacock. So I think they're going to have a whole new app, and maybe they'll tie it into the NBC app, but they'll have a whole new app, kind of like Pluto TV with Viacom and CBS, since Viacom and CBS own the Pluto app. But they're going to do that with NBC, where they're going to have their own app with free streaming TV. If you don't have Pluto TV, and I would recommend get it because there's a lot of good stuff on it that's free.
Mhm.
Peacock or NBC is going to do the same thing, and I've just seen rumors that that's where, or at least Vince has been talking to them about going there, and he also talked about that the whatever they decide is going to be announced within this first quarter. So probably within by the end of March, I would assume that we will know what they're going to do with their pay-per-views and where they're gonna go for sure.
Goldberg beats Fiend, rant or no? I'm not cool with it, man.
She will rant. I will tell her to stop ranting because I love it.
I don't see the point of having Goldberg go over the Fiend.
We don't want to get into the Fox movies? Why not? I did not hear that.
I think there is a strong possibility that Goldberg goes over the Fiend, but I don't like it because it's like, why are you relying on him to be your, like, you know, big star going into WrestleMania? It doesn't make any sense to me. And I just don't like it.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
I just don't like it, so I will probably rant. Because
we'll see what they
I
do with
just don't like it.
Goldberg was supposed to sell the Peacock thing. I think Goldberg versus Cena is going to sell it.
I don't want to see either, okay? I just don't like Goldberg, okay? And you know what? I just don't want to see Roman either. I don't want to see Roman versus whoever the Universal Champion is
Becky
either.
24/7 because
I never said that either.
That would sell all the tickets.
Did I ever say that? Did those words ever come out of my mouth? Did I ever say, you know what? The only person I want to see ever on TV for the rest of my days is Becky. That is not what I said. I've never, ever said that, you fools. You are all literally fools. I've never once said that, okay? Actually, in all actuality, I am looking forward to Shayna beating Becky upside the head at WrestleMania. There you go. I said it, folks.
You did it now.
I said it. Sorry, James. James is going to come for me, but too bad. Too bad. Too bad. It's gonna happen. Shayna will beat the ever-living crap out of Becky at WrestleMania, and it's gonna suck for those Becky fans, but it's going to happen.
How did you feel about Bianca Belair laying out the champion? Yeah, I mean
it was cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Becky and Seth are taking time off after Mania.
That's what I've seen. That's what I've heard. If it's true, okay, cool, whatever. They can go, get married or whatever. And it'll make people miss them. Okay, honestly, I think after Mania.
Have you lost your mind?
After Mania, I don't know if I can see. I suppose it would make sense if they both take time off because they're probably getting married then. But if Becky is the only one that takes time off, I'd be cool with that too because Seth is like got this whole new Monday Night Messiah thing, and I feel like you can't just leave him like hanging. Like you got to figure out some way to write him off TV that makes sense, you know? So, I don't know.
Shayna the Vampire Alistair and Shayna could be a stable.
If they're gonna be like gone after Mania, cool. Nice. It'll make people miss them, and then when Becky comes back, it'll be like, woohoo! She'll get a huge reaction.
The only thing I question is how are you going to write? I mean, Becky, they've got a way out.
I don't know how you write Seth off TV with this whole new Monday Night Messiah thing, because he's the leader of it.
Yeah, with this whole Messiah thing, I don't know how you write him out of... Unless Kevin Owens takes over the whole Messiah thing and...
Unless Roderick Strong comes in and is like, I'm the true Messiah.
Yeah.
Because he's the Messiah, the backbreaker.
They got married on Twitter with that photo.
AOP and Murphy attack Seth. That could be cool too if they turn on him. I suppose it'd be neat.
Well, that's why I wonder if
it's
they
just
wouldn't bring
I don't know how
in.
I don't know how they write them off TV.
Unless Murphy takes over the whole
Which would be a huge deal for him, man. That would be huge.
Shayna with Aleister Black theme won't fit her. No. But I didn't think she was a vampire either, so and then
I still don't think she's a vampire.
They turned her into a vampire.
I still don't think she's a vampire. I just think she's just that ruthless.
But she hasn't done that before. Mr. Lee versus the cable guy. You know what? I can't say that right now because right now our internet has been really good.
Now that you said that.
Over the last, several weeks, with the exception of the one night where we had issues, but it was like the whole neighborhood that went down, and they went out and they fixed some lines, down the street from us, and since then we have not had like issues. The frame rate drops and the things like that now our download speeds aren't where they're supposed to be, but at least, we're able to stay connected and have our show.
Wow, Elijah. You gotta put it like that. Glean is right. Maven is wrong. Nobody wants to see
I'm
Roderick
cool.
Strong on Raw. Standing
The thing
next
about
to you.
Roderick Strong is I'm okay with him going to Raw. I mean, and a lot depends what they're going to do with other people.
How could you, man?
Hogan helps Goldberg win in Saudi Arabia. That would be interesting.
No.
I would love to see it. And I made the statement tonight that Hogan looks thinner than what he had the last time I saw him on TV. So I wonder if he's not working out.
Scott is probably right.
Working out and doing some stuff to at least get into some sort of shape.
Good grief. Then we're going to get Goldberg versus Roman at WrestleMania. And we're going to get freaking Hulk Hogan versus The Fiend at WrestleMania.
Do you think Velveteen Dream went too far with Roderick Strong and his family? No, I thought that was awesome.
I honestly think
love what they do.
Did you see that the only person he's following on Twitter now is Marina Shafir?
Velveteen?
Yeah. He unfollowed everybody and only followed her.
That's cool.
So, like, I legit, like, that is so funny.
The Dark Order new leader is Eric Bischoff. Will be sad. That's funny. I'm playing Maven as right. I want Hogan versus Cena. I could handle Hogan versus Cena.
Honestly, I think if Cena comes back, you have to play it out where, like, this is, like, gonna be his, like, I want to see it where it plays out as, like, this is his, like, final run before he, I don't want to say kicks the bucket because that makes it sound like he's dying, but, you know, before he, like, retires, I suppose.
No wrestler ever retires. They always
yeah, I get that, but I just want this to be, like, his final, like...
He's 85 years old and still wrestles. Or is involved in it.
I'm cool with that, but, like, you know, like, having, like, matches on a not semi-regular basis, you know? I know John Cena hasn't had a match in 85 years because he's been off doing movies and stuff. But, honestly, I think if this is going to be, like, his, like, final run, you know, before being, like, I'm going to be done for now, and this is going to be my last match, you know, and, like, tell everybody it's his last match. Because John Cena, at this point, he's always come back and then just, like, left and disappeared.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like, this is my last match or whatever. But this one could be, like, this is my last match. And it needed to be said to everybody that it was his last match, you know? That's what I could see this being, I hope.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's my last match till the next one I have. The Rock is on Stephen Colbert. Is he on it right now? It's like Glean is Dark Order leader. It's Daniels. People going to say Dark Order needs to go and leave the gimmick like Brandy. I don't, you know, like the whole Brandy gimmick I don't have an issue with.
Have you seen what they've been doing with her? She's been going to like a psychiatrist or whatever, and they're like doing the whole like she's burned.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool what they're doing.
Stuff.
Cena wins Elimination Chamber.
No.
The Elimination Chamber. Speaking of that, I think
there was a graphic
tonight was the first night that we've actually seen
anything said about it.
Yeah, Awesome Kong is retired soon. That's sad, but I'm happy for her. Yes.
She's been written off TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they do with her now.
John Cena and Daniel Bryan, where Daniel Bryan talks about Nikki Bella and how John Cena messed up with that situation. They could do something with that. I mean, and I think it'd be interesting. I don't know that I want to see Cena versus Bryan, but I mean, if it happened, okay. I think you know you tie the real life thing into it, then I suppose it makes it interesting. Any other questions? Oh, we were going to talk about you and your health and stuff. And, she's filming the Glow Maven. Maven, we went to the doctor. She's fine as far as like the issues she has, but we do have to go see a rheumatologist at the end of the month.
Yes, going to a rheumatologist on 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks from today.
Yes.
So it will be the Smackdown that John Cena returns.
Yeah.
That week. And so I go see a rheumatologist, and they're going to look at my joints and stuff, because I've been having issues with my joints, so.
Yeah.
That's neat. But other than that, I'm fine.
And other than her joints, you know, getting fiery red.
I had my infusion, and it's cool.
She's fine.
Other than I can't walk on my,
Cena
legs
versus
sometimes.
Fiend versus heel Bryan, boom, good Mania, and Roman doesn't have to face Fiend. I don't know. I don't like that. I think that,
I think they're gonna do.
Fiend thing,
I think they're gonna do it makes Dude, Cena versus Bray the Fiend, it makes perfect sense. John Cena did the Fiend wrong. They had a whole feud back in 2014 where John Cena messed up Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Bro, I can't believe you wouldn't be okay with that.
Hope and pray everything goes well.
Like, honestly,
Thanks, James.
that would be so smart, though. Like, if they did John Cena versus The Fiend, that would be smart. Because then it goes back to the whole situation of, like, The Fiend attacking people from his past that did him wrong. Which is where, like, I wish they would do the cross-promotion with him for, like, Raw, because I think The Fiend and Randy Orton, or The Fiend and Matt Hardy, or anybody that he's had encounters with, it could make an epic storyline.
It's probably where they're gonna go, but I don't know. It's not something that I don't know. I think
Cena versus Fiend, it makes sense. Cena beat Bray, and now Bray wants revenge.
Okay, but I think you get more people with Goldberg versus Cena.
But I just don't care.
And maybe you bring Goldberg versus Cena at Mania with the Fiend interfering because he was beat by Goldberg and.
I just don't like Goldberg.
Well, you might not like Goldberg, but the people do.
And I don't really
And he gets
care.
more of a pop than 90% of the wrestlers now.
But again, I don't really care because it goes back to people relying on the legends and not the superstars they have.
Cena belongs on the Fiend wall. Yes.
That's what it goes back to.
Hogan just got on it, so.
He'll be attacked sometime.
Yes. Yes.
In the near distant future.
So
they're probably going to do what Scott said, and Goldberg's probably going to win the title because of Hogan's help, and that would be, epic or whatever. Not.
Yeah.
So, somebody asked about the card for Super Showdown.
Oh, by the way, Mansoor is going to be doing...
Oh! Sorry, Kathy Kelly is leaving WWE.
Yes.
She announced that today that this weekend, Sunday is going to be her last event that she ever does.
Yes.
Because she's leaving the company. And I'm just like, what? Because I actually liked her. I thought she was a good interviewer.
Yeah.
She was used all the time on NXT and stuff.
She's going to AEW.
Probably not. I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll do predictions for tomorrow.
I don't either.
But we will be back with the show after the show.
Yes.
Mania 08, 06, and 04, old wrestlers being new stars. Yes.
So, Saudi show right now as it stands, it's Goldberg and Bray.
I was going to say, Mansoor is going to be on NXT to do the announcing.
I'm shocked he's not involved in this Tawake Trophy Gauntlet match. I'm shocked he's not in there. Because that's Rusev, Truth, AJ, Andrade, Rowan, and Bobby Lashley.
Yes.
I'm shocked he's not in there. We then have King Corbin and Roman Reigns in a steel cage match. Who cares? Smackdown Tag Team Championship match. New Day versus John Morrison and Miz. Brock versus Ricochet. The Fiend versus Goldberg. Some rumored matches are Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders versus Seth Rollins and AOP. And then a Hulk Hogan appearance is what is rumored.
I would say based on what we've seen tonight, I think that's probably going to happen. Y'all doing a show Monday.
Yes.
Yes, we will be back Monday with Raw.
We will be back Monday.
Doing Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. You got to do that on the biggest stage of them all. And that's WrestleMania. I mean, if they're going to do it, I suppose that's probably where you got to do it. We will be back Monday. We'll be back Sunday night after Takeover. To do our
I think
show.
The last Takeover we did a watch along. But this
Yeah.
time I don't know if we're doing that. Probably just do a recap.
Pay attention to Twitter.
Yes.
We'll see.
Some crazy stuff happens on takeovers generally.
Yeah.
So sometimes my reactions are whack.
Yeah. Way whack. With that, I think that we've covered everything.
I think so.
I don't think there's really anything else to cover here.
I don't think so.
Everybody that stopped in, thanks for stopping in. You guys are awesome. You guys rock.
Yes.
Make sure if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit the little bell button and so you get notified when we go live. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitch. It's one of those things that let's check this out here. Let's see here. If you haven't followed us on Twitch, go follow us on
so.
Twitch.
We
are 16 followers away from getting our affiliate on Twitch.
16!
Which, if you don't know about Twitch, that's a way for us to potentially start making some money. So go follow us there.
Yes.
And with that, we're going to take off. And we'll be back Sunday night. Whether we do the live show with the live show or whether we do the
live
after,
show with the live show.
after
Wow,
the show.
that made so much sense.
The live show with the live show.
The live show
NXT
with the live show.
takeover, or whether we just wait till after and do a show. But we'll be on sometime Sunday. Just like I said,
yes.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Yes.
To the Twitter.
Yes. With that, we are out of here. We will see you guys Sunday at some point in time.
Peace out.
Peace out.